Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new video. Today, it'll be the episode analysis for Disventure Camp All-Stars, episode 11. Before this begins, a few things to note. The background footage is not owned by me, it is owned by Odd Nation Cartoons. This is just my personal analysis, opinions on the scenes. If you have different ones, it's completely fine. In my videos, I do sections to maintain organization and simplicity. The sections for this video are episode analysis, Connor's return FT, Riya and my voice, who's going next. Conclusion. Without further delay, the first section of the video can start, the episode analysis.
You're going to blow your heart out, Gabs. We should stop.
No! I want you back in the game!
Beginning the episode with the usual recap and intro, we go to Alec and Jake, where Alec tries to befriend Jake, to have him onto the villain's side, but also to partially get inside his head. After last episode, Jake clearly learned a lesson for once, as he tells Alec to leave him alone and knows that Alec has certain motivations. Going to Alec's confessional, it's learned that Riya gave Alec some acting lessons to befriend Jake, which so much of me wishes we got to see this. It would expand Riya and Alec's duo, be fun to watch for Riya, the works. Even though I was proud to see how Jake handled the previous scene, part of me knows he could make another huge turnaround. And not in a good way. Moving on to the next scene, Aiden and Tom are talking about the previous night, with Aiden defending his previous actions. With a light coming, they all show their worrying for the road ahead, until Crystal interrupts, asking the campers to come for a special challenge. Crystal makes it clear it's the halfway point, but also says this was about to flip around as all the eliminated campers are welcomed one by one, and Crystal explains how the comeback challenge will work to some happy, others angry at this. The duos are also revealed, them being James and Yul, Lake and Aiden, Tess and Ellie, Connor and Riya, Alec and Fiora, Ashley and Jake, Miriam and Tom, Hunter and Gret, and finally, Ellie and Gabby. I also heard that in the Spanish dub, that Nina actually called the campers nicknames, wish that had carried over to the English dub because that sounds hilarious. In any case, I liked the duos. Nina chose personal favorites being Hunter and Gret, Yul and James, and Ellie and Gabby. Going to confessionals, Aiden says this could be a miracle for the heroes, specifically if Lake gets back into the game. Yul's confessional is absolutely hilarious, saying he'll get revenge for the mushroom incident. When Yul wants to be funny, he is just the best at it, here specifically. This challenge is one of the better of the season, having multiple parts and being more interesting than others. Also Trevor and Oliver duo? Some of the duos show their excitement for the road ahead as Crystal begins the challenge. The first duo the focus is on is Alec and Fiora, and these two stole the show this episode, especially with this conversation. Getting to see Alec be more strategic, but also getting to see that he did still care. Though, I am curious as to why Fiora fully thought that Alec's moves earlier were for his benefit. Maybe I'm missing something, but for his game specifically, I'm not sure that move benefited him in any other way than keeping Fiora around. Back to the conversation, though, Alec says they need to get Fiora back in the game so the villains can keep control, and she agrees to help after some convincing. For Connor and Riya, I'll save my thoughts on the two for the later section. Here in this scene, Riya brags about how her and the villains have been doing well and that she doesn't want Connor to get into her head, with Connor regretting ever thinking that, deep down, she is that same sweet person. Tom's obliviousness appears in the next scene as he says it will be just like season 1, with Miriam still mad she got ghosted. Tom explains he was hurt, didn't know what to do, all that, as Miriam gives him some advice, saying that it isn't his physical strength that makes him strong, but it's the willingness to be strong, be able to confront emotionally, even if he isn't ready. I'm wanting more of these two's interactions now because this was nice to see. Maybe they even discuss something that isn't Jake. Going to Hunter and Gret, Hunter tries to start a conversation to keep it not as awkward, to where he makes sure he confirms that Gret is Yul's girlfriend. The subject segues to public's opinions, which Hunter shows he doesn't understand why others are so obsessed with it, with Gret making clear on why she thinks of the public's opinions. Going to Jake and Ashley, the two are having fun as they are in first place. As soon as Alec and Fiora get there, they go on a sabotage frenzy, using sticks to ruin the tires, as Connor comes, wanting to stop this. Riya says to let them do their thing, leave them be, with him not wanting to. Alec just tells Connor to follow Riya's advice, and Connor learned to not mess with Fiora as she makes a remark, and after Alec and Fiora head out, Connor immediately tries to continue the challenge, wanting to beat them. Riya doesn't care much at all. Connor getting mad is so rare and interesting that I hope to see it more. Going to James and Yul, they manage to get the last working motorcycle as James tries to give some advice to Yul, fully thinking his horrible attitude is just a character. Yul clarifies that him being nice is the character, with James continuing to try and help. Yul's motivations not wanting to continue to fake it to anybody to get the money. It's interesting. I've only really seen that in media for the hero's motivations. Wonder if they'll expand on that. James' actual true disappointment in his expression when he realized not only has he not changed, not learned, but that he's actually like this. Part of me thinks that if Yul actually changed, these two would have been great friends. Still loved the interactions. In the English dub, to Ashley and Jake, it can be summed up with Ashley giving Jake a bit more advice and discussing the previous elimination. As they get to the next part of the challenge, going to Ellie and Gabby, they realize all the other motorcycles cannot be rode, and therefore Gabby decided to logically carry a motorcycle. Respect the dedication, although I wonder why they couldn't just ditch the motorcycles. Anyway, everyone else comes, with some deciding to follow in Gabby's footsteps, others planning to fix the motorcycles using Lake's experience and skill set as assistants, not wanting to go down without a fight. Alec and Fiora are second to arrive, with them wanting to go for another sabotage. But then Ashley threatens to pull a Riya, throw them off a cliff, leading them to just do the challenge. Riya and Connor show up, with Riya refusing to go into the water because she doesn't want to get her hair wet. Didn't know Riya would go for the Heather response, LOL. In any case, the following scene shows Gabby exhausted as both her and Ellie push the motorcycle, being worried for Gabby's well-being. Ellie says they should stop, with Gabby wanting Ellie back in the game so much. Ellie shows that she developed off-screen as she says they wouldn't have managed to make it anyway, as she says they need to make the most of it. As Gabby says she's doing well with the villains, Ellie gives some advice to turn on them before they'll turn on her, which, even if this advice is true and helpful, it won't help Gabby much. Gabby is clearly somebody who needs someone to lean on, so Ellie's trust no one mentality being placed onto her will not end well. Already at the end of this episode it's getting worse. I'm just hoping Gabby will manage to make out of it well. Going on to the love triangles discussion. They all talk about how they could have reunited at a better place, and we see Ellie worrying about her public image. Finally, this is the Ellie I've wanted to see, not the Ellie that fights with Jake 24/7. It was also nice to see them try to help her up, as well as Tess offering the motorcycle, not wanting to get back into the game. I wonder what she would have done if she did rejoin, though. To Aiden and Lake, the motorcycle is said to go really slow as the two discuss Jake. I don't want to highlight that much here, I'd rather highlight what we learned about Lake. I always thought, what more you could do with Lake, and after seeing this, makes me partially wish she got to stick around longer for a plotline, because that would have been extremely interesting. I think this conversation could also lead Jake and Aiden to make up. Then Aiden learns that Jake eliminated James and we're gonna be back to square one. That seemed like the only reason. Aiden hasn't figured it out yet. To James and Yul spins the wheel and lets him go down as the other villains plan to sabotage the people they are helping, with Ashley not happy at all. Riya decides to go back to her old roots by getting Jake and Connor to fall off cliffs, and Yul does so for James as revenge for the mushroom. Fiora is pulled up as Alec tries to fix the hang glider. While this happens, Connor climbs up the rope to try to win. Connor confronts Riya as the two fight. Alec and Fiora go and start heading on the hang glider to the finish line. As Ashley sabotages them, making them fall right back onto the cliff, Connor pulls Riya onto the hang glider as the two fly, with Riya complaining more as they win the challenge. Alec wonders if he judged Connor incorrectly, with Connor having his confessional saying that he is prepared and ready for what's to come. The following scene is very wholesome as everyone says their goodbyes. Gabby and Ellie, supportive icons. Lake and James, the love triangle, supporting Ellie. Fiora and Alec being on better terms, and Jake having his therapist say goodbye. Crystal and Nina get annoyed as the others are told to get on the bus. Trevor then goes to Derek, with the two talking for a bit. Derek reveals he's going to hang out with Crystal, and that, once you get to know her, she isn't so bad. Derek pushes for Trevor to join the two on Saturday, which he agrees to. Wonder how this'll go. My guess is it won't go well, but we will have to see. Moving on to Gabby, she is shown alone as her other side returns to the scene. This could mean many things. My guess is that her evil side will eventually take over her actions, to the point she will have to be saved by the others, helping, or even Ellie coming to assist, because from the looks of it, Gabby is so scared at what her other side can do. I'm not sure she will be able to fight it off. With all the scenes finished, this section is over, meaning we can move on to the next section. Connor's return, FT, Riya and my voice.
You're going to blow your heart out, Gabs. We should stop.
No! I want you back in the game!
Hello everyone, here I am with my Riya voice to discuss Connor's return and Riya from this episode, so let's get into it. First off, Connor's return. I think Connor returning was one of the better options, albeit it is predictable. However, it makes it feel like him returning was actually worthwhile. Even though I see a lot of hate for him returning online now, I thought he was the #1 person rooted for to come back, but I guess I was wrong. And if he stayed gone in episode 6, I feel like it would have felt like a waste of a spot. Why didn't we have Rose and Riya back instead? Maybe this will also allow Connor to become more of a character separate from Riya. I'm sorry, but to me, Connor is literally just Riya's support character. And because of that, he doesn't really shine as his own. And maybe this return will allow him to do that. As well, I feel like he could be really helpful to the heroes. As long as he stays away from like the Jake, Tom, whatever that is now, he should be fine. And overall, I'm excited to see what he does. And especially with this dynamics with Alec and Riya being substantial. More so Alec, because please, no more of this Riya Connor fighting. It is annoying at times. I'd say that's one of the only weaknesses of the episode is that fighting. So I really hope we get to see more of the Alec dynamic and how that overall affects Connor's gameplay. Alec too. I think it'll be very interesting to see. Overall, Connor's return has a lot of potential, and I'm excited to see where they take this. Now on to Riya. Riya is a character I want to like. I adore Ellie. I mean, if you've seen my channel before, welcome back in that case. You know that Ellie is my favorite character and I adore her to pieces. But Riya, this season, I also wanted to like her, and at the beginning I did. She was interesting, she was complex, and especially in episode 3, I adored her because I thought it was interesting the direction they were taking with her. But episode 5 onward, she just... what? She's so inconsistent sometimes. You get to see her side randomly, her good side, and then the next second, she's just this really bad brat. And I keep hearing that underneath it all, Riya is a good person, and maybe that's the case. I mean, we saw it at the beginning of All Stars. But ever since, it's like that side has fully disappeared and disheveled. I haven't seen Complex Riya for 7 episodes now. And it's not like this episode she was even that good, to me anyway. She was annoying, she kept on complaining, and I get that. There's different villains, but they transform someone who could be so complex, and especially episode 3, that here's my point, into a one-dimensional villain that just doesn't feel entertaining. I'd say another one of her good episodes is when they turn her villainy into interesting heroism in a sense, her villainy into a good light, but then the right next episode or right next second they just turn that all around. It's an inconsistent mess that Riya's going through, and it feels like they're trying to take all directions of a character. Choose a direction for Riya, in my opinion. Maybe you could argue her turning into a villain is that one direction, then why did they show her complexity in episode 3? Why would you do that? Why would you frame her villainy as good in episode 10? And maybe she could still have a redemption arc. Maybe I'm also going off on a limb here, and maybe I would be fully wrong by the time the season's over. I admit I could be, but I don't think that's the direction they're taking. Connor is swearing revenge on Riya. I don't know how Riya's gonna be able to change now. I feel like this is gonna be where Connor gets his revenge and Riya is gone, and you never really got to see more of the complexity. And if we're thinking that this is the send off to season 1 and season 2 characters, and this is the last time we see Riya, it's just, I don't get why they would treat Riya this way. Maybe I'm going overboard with this, but I just think Riya could have been so much more in the season than she has so far. Again, maybe I'll be proven wrong. But with this out of the way, we can move on to the next session, which is who's going next.
You're going to blow your heart out, Gabs. We should stop.
No! I want you back in the game!
Given Connor's return, I feel like it's inevitable a villain is going to be eliminated this coming episode. The love triangle has up plot armor. Ellie is no threat to the villains, so why would they target her specifically? They target Tom and try to get Connor or Ellie on their side. I'd say so it doesn't tie. Connor because of Alec's previous connection with him, and Ellie because she's an outlier even on the hero side of things, villain-wise. Riya is immune, so that instantly crosses her out. Tom suggested to get Gabby on their side. This to me shows he still wants Gabby to stay, and since all the heroes need to work together, I don't think they'd target her yet. From a story perspective, Gabby also just saw her other side. She ain't going yet. This leaves Gret, Alec, and Yul. Gret hasn't finished her arc nearly yet, plus why would the heroes target her specifically out of the other options they have? Is Alec the smartest option and has basically no plot left? Yes, but are the heroes going to target him? Likely no. Connor could tell them Alec's the leader of the Alliance, but given the previous friendship they had, I'm not fully sure if he'd be willing to get him out so fast. Plus, Alec still has something left to offer. This leaves Yul. There's a theory that's been circulating around I fully agree with. In episode 3, Yul got his first strike from Riya. In episode 6, he got his second strike. In episode 9, he got his third strike. Now it's episode 12. I think Yul will do something really bad that makes Riya snap, plus the heroes would probably target him instantly. They target using emotions, proven by the fact they keep on going for Riya, who left a dent on the cliff. Meaning the other person they all have the most distaste for is Yul, meaning he's done for. Even in a T-breaker he ain't beating no Tom or Ellie, I'd think. With this section done with, the final section can begin, the conclusion.
You're going to blow your heart out, Gabs. We should stop.
No! I want you back in the game!
Thank you so much for watching today's video, I really appreciate it. What were your thoughts, analyzation of the episode? I would love to hear in the comments down below. I hope you visit the channel again and have a great day, night, goodbye.